Pardon me, Morty Vicar. Hi guys, Xfile2708 here. Welcome back to part 8 now of my 500 subs Q&A. So I hope you got your cups of teas at the ready and you're sitting nice and comfy, because I think judging by the amount of questions I've still got left, it's there's going to be several more parts to come. So this is going to be epic. So here we go guys. The next question's from Drexus80. So thanks matey for submitting those. First of all, back in the day, what were the first Mega Drive games you owned and enjoyed the most? There's probably 3 games that jump to mind straight away, which I can remember playing for hours and hours on end. First of all is the classic Sonic. So I think when I brought my Mega Drive originally, it came with Sonic 1, if I remember rightly. You know, that was a game that I played for hours and hours and hours. Absolutely loved it to bits. Still love the Sonic series of games to this day. The next game that I remember very fondly is NHLPA Hockey 93. You know, that was a game that me and my brother used to play 2-player on all the time. I think he always used to be, I can't remember now, I think possibly New York. And I can't for the life of me remember which team I used to be, but possibly I was New York when it was single player, and when we played 2-player, I think he always bagsed New York because he was a New York Giants fan with the American football. So, but yeah, we used to play that one for hours. Used to love the little, you know, the cut, the fights in between and stuff like that. That used to get hours of gameplay between the two of us. And then of course one of my favourite games, Streets of Rage 2. So, you know, again, I used to sit and play that through for hours. I don't think, to be honest, I've ever played that 2-player, so that would be great fun to play 2-player. You know, I've played it, you know, ever since, you know, day dot on the single player mode. Absolutely love playing it and never get tired of playing it. But yeah, 2-player against, you know, one of the YouTubers that I hope you know, to meet up from the UK one day. A bit of multiplayer Streets of Rage 2 would be fantastic. So those 3 games for me. Next up, what is your earliest game in memory? Probably my Atari 2600, to be honest. That was the first console that I was brought as a kid. So it was the 6-switch Woody. And you know, I think I've told the story many a time. You know, I got it brought for myself and my brother for Christmas, probably very early 80s it would have been, something like that. So it came bundled with Berserk and Combat, and you know, Berserk, you know, I play it today and it irritates the hell out of me. It's just so repetitive. But I'm sure as a kid, you know, we got to like level 99 or something stupid just on one go, and you know, we used to have like a little book with you know, how far we'd got in the levels, and you know, we'd always try and beat each other's scores and things like that. And Combat, you know, playing 2-player, flying the biplanes against each other, the jet fighters, the old Second World War, you know, the old style planes, driving the tanks at each other and ricocheting the bombs off the wall to take your opponent out, stuff like that. We used to sit and play it for hours and hours and hours. And obviously, with it being so far back in the day, we didn't have TVs in our own room, so me and my brother used to monopolise the telly in the living room for hours on end playing those. And you know, even my dad was into the Atari 2600 at the time, which was, you know, which was good. So, you know, between the three males in the house, we used to, you know, get the Atari on most of the time. So that's my earliest gaming memory. And next set of questions are from my good friend Christian, aka Yethboth. Nice, quick, easy, quick fire answers, hopefully these ones. What's your all-time favourite Spectrum game? To be honest, I play very few. Mentioned it a few questions ago. Probably Bruce Lee, I remember playing the most, and maybe games like Saboteur, I think it was, or Last Ninja. But for me, Bruce Lee, I used to have a lot of fun around my mate's house playing it, so I'd choose that one. What's your all-time favourite Spectrum soundtrack? I have no idea. Like I said, I play very few Spectrum games. I can't even remember if there was a soundtrack on Bruce Lee. I can just remember the little as you're running through the levels, up and down the ladders and things like that. So no idea, to be honest, matey. Next question, Mr. Wimpy or Little Chef? For me, it's got to be Wimpy. I love occasionally when I'm on the way back from dropping the boys off at the X's of a Sunday evening, call into the services, the local services on the way back just off the motorway, and it's a Wimpy bar there, and I go up, grab myself a nice spicy chicken burger. Lovely, really nice and spicy. Doesn't cost a fortune compared to Little Chef, which I think is an absolute rip-off. I don't like the food, and I really dislike the prices, so Wimpy wins hands down for me. Next up, guys, favourite anime title. I tried to get into anime a while ago, and I think I've only ever brought 2 films, something like that. So I did a bit of research online and found people's favourites and decided to go ahead and buy a couple. So the only ones I've watched is Akira and Ghost in the Shell. Quite enjoyed them both, but never really bothered buying any more anime since. So if you're into that sort of thing, matey, then drop me a PM with some suggestions on titles, and I'll keep an eye out for them cheap. So, pardon me, that'll be good. Favourite anime game? I don't think I've got an anime game, to be honest, in my collection, and I don't recall actually playing any anime games. The only one that I've considered is I think it's a game called Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball Z, I don't know how you pronounce it, but I saw that in Granger Games. I think it was on PlayStation 3 recently, and was tempted. It looks quite a good anime fighting game, so I'm tempted to add that one into the collection at some point when funds allow. Next up is heavy metal or death metal. If you'd have asked me when I was a teenager, I'd have probably said death metal. I was well into bands like Napalm Death, etc. But for me, heavy metal now. So I am into other types. I'm into like zombie metal and things like that. But it's only really the sort of music that I can maybe listen to for 15-20 minutes before it starts to do my head in a little bit. But for me, heavy metal is my passion. Always has been my passion and always will be. So. Next one, Sega Saturn or PlayStation 1. I love both the consoles, to be honest. Back in the day, I think I had the Sega Saturn and then moved on to the PlayStation 1 after then. So, I've always had fond memories of the 2 consoles. I guess if I had to choose one over the 2, my preference would probably be Sega Saturn. For games like Sega Rally, etc., with the Sega steering wheel. I remember playing that for hours on end as a kid. But PlayStation 1 does come a very, very close second. I've got the old grey PlayStation 1 in my collection, as well as one of the small white, the slim-ish, I think. I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but the small white one that was re-released anyway. So, and I've got a good selection of games across both PlayStation 1 and Sega Saturn. So, it's very close, but if I had to choose, Sega every time. Next one, Pac-Man or Mario? Back in the day, I'd have said Pac-Man, so fond memories of it on the Atari 2600. But now I'd say Mario, because since I've got back into retro gaming, stroke collecting, I've added the original Nintendo, the original Super Nintendo, as well as the Nintendo 64 to my collection. And I absolutely love playing the Mario games on them. So, Mario Kart, Super Mario 3 on the original NES, absolute classic. So, back in the day I'd have said Pac-Man, today I'll say Mario. Next one, milkshakes or smoothies? For me, got to be milkshakes. I absolutely love banana milkshake. The only thing I have to watch, strangely, is that I don't drink banana milkshake before I go to bed. Otherwise, it keeps me awake for hours. I don't know if it's the colouring or whatever that they put into them, but it makes me climb the walls. But yeah, I love drinking banana milkshake during the day, not late at night, and you know, banana milkshake all the way. I'm not a fan of chocolate milkshake, not a big fan of strawberry milkshakes, but love banana milkshake.